First of all, thank you all for being here. Wonderful game, personal game, heartfelt game, and emotional game. They kind of make it like that. We just want to play some football. The disrespect was called for throughout the week. A couple of the players took shots at the whole program and a few of our players, so it is what it is. We knew that coming into the game it was going to be a bit personal, and it was. I think one of our coaches, Coach Phillips, doing warm-ups, one of the guys ran into him and elbowed him, which is uncalled for. I just pray that our kids never act in that manner, because I know you guys would have a field day if they did. But I know you won't say anything or do anything when the opposing team does that versus us make derogatory comments during the week about our program. Great darn victory. Offensive line was phenomenal. Did a great job, not only run blocking, but pass blocking as well. The defense picked up right where it left off in the second half of last week's game and started the game and kept the momentum through the entirety of the game. We're upset with the last touchdown we gave up. That was, I think it was a 4th and 1 or whatever, and they got an explosion on that, so we're not happy with that at all. Where's penalties? 12 penalties, 115 yards are not gonna fare you well. Some of that stuff was like, we got some great refs, tremendously. We really do. Some of that stuff is questionable. You know, we're gonna always question it. Just unbelievable. But we got it. We did what we needed to do to come out here with a victory. We just really wanted it to be decisive. We didn't want to leave no if we would have done that, if you'd have done, no, we didn't want to leave none of that on the table. Unfortunately, it gets like that when you have these type of rivalries, and that's what transpired. Let's go.
Go ahead,
Deion,
Nikki.
does that explain?
Sorry, Dennis.
Wait a minute,
Nikki first.
we got a policy. I'm sorry. No disrespect, my man.
Moments ago, the offensive line came out with Shador and Travis. Why is it so important to highlight them and their performance this season?
I don't know. You asked your daughter? I don't know. I mean, you guys buried them last week after the game. You didn't say anything tremendously positive when I think they almost went for 500 yards total offense week 1, right? Where was the praise and the love? But it was a lot of hate and disdain, and here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah, that's what they got. I mean, these are young men. They're not old as I am and waxed with gray and have wisdom and understand how to handle the foolishness. They're not like that, man. They still are filled with feelings and emotions. I mean, they get those text messages and that stuff they have online, and they get the DMs and they get all that stuff, and that don't make them feel well, because you're treating them like professionals. I don't mind, but just treat everybody the same, and I'm cool.
Dennis, go ahead.
Deion, does the perceived disrespect have to do with Shador and Travis and the #1 offense being in at the end?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we want to score. The game is about scoring, isn't it? I don't know protocol. You should have called me and told me when to pull off. They was trying to, as long as the other team is trying to score, we're trying to score. That's my rule.
And is that as good as Travis can be? I mean, tonight was one of his own.
No. Travis, it's phenomenal. Every week in and week out. We got a quarterback that's phenomenal too. We just got to protect it. I think the whole country knows that. So we did a great job of that today. And when you see us do that, you're going to see, 36 for 49, no turnovers, and how many yards there?
310.
310. Oh God, we'd have hit that big one to Jimmy. That shoot. Yeah, we'd have hit that big one. That would have been even greater.
Adam, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Michael Welch went for 25 yards on his first college carry.
Yeah.
I noticed you had a moment with him. What can a game like this do for his confidence?
It does a lot for his confidence. The kid was just playing at high school this time last year. Now he's playing at one of the largest stages in college football. You know, believe it or not, it is. I think, what is it? How many times they sold out here?
It's the first, I believe.
Excuse me?
It's the first in the stadium, I think.
Oh, why didn't y'all say that? This is the first time that they sold out here? Why was that? You know darn well why they was that. And this kid playing in front of sellout crowds. I mean, I think the largest crowd he's probably ever played in front of was 4,000 or 5,000. So that's a lot for not only Michael, but some of the people that came over out of the portal. You know, I know some of them have played against teams that had phenomenal followings, but every week and the eye on you every week to perform, it's phenomenal, and it's trying for a young man. We got to do a better job of building them up for the moment, and we try our best. We have so much support and so many people that try to pour into them to get them ready and develop as men for these type of contests weekly.
Scott, go ahead.
Where's that noise coming from?
I think it's from you. Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's distracting. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry. Coach Brian, your defense has given up 9 points, I believe, over the last 6 quarters. What do you think has led to that in them playing?
We have some guys, I'm sorry, I'm so used to answering. Let me let you finish. I'm sorry.
It's all good, Coach.
Go ahead.
I just said at the end, what do you think what do you see from what's allowed them to play at such a high level here over the last 2 weeks?
We got some guys that are pretty good defensively. What is happening? Did everybody do this, or just me? These guys, they want it. No one's satisfied with their performance. I think we finally got a darn sack. We finally got a turnover. We finally got a couple of picks, which was satisfying. But these guys can play the game. They work their butts off in practice. They work their butts off studying film. I think the average film time is probably 3.5, 4 hours, per guy. Putting it in, because we put it on the board. We want everybody to see how much each other watch film, so we understand everyone is prepared. But these guys are doing it. Coach Rob is doing a wonderful job, man. He really is, and Pat is as well. They're doing a wonderful job with what we have to work with, and we got some guys that really want it. And we're not there yet. We're slowly but surely improving, and you'd be a fool to look at our team and say we're not improving. That's crazy, especially with where we are defensively and what we're capable of doing offensively.
Tyler, go ahead.
Coach, after the game last week, you were obviously very encouraged by the second half performance of the defense. Just kind of sticking with that, how nice was it to see them kind of continue that in the first half this week?
The goal was to come out there and get a stop. We want to go 3 and out. We want to go 6 and out. You want to go something and just get off the darn field without relinquishing the score. That's what you want to do. Sometimes it does not work like that, but oftentimes we would like it to. But they didn't get down. And the whole theme of this week was, what do you do when? What do you do when the defense gives up the first down? What do you do when you miss a sack? What do you do when we drop a pass? What do you do when you get called for holding? What do you do? How do you respond? That was the whole theme of the week. How do we respond? We know that happened. Let's flesh it. Now, what do you do to respond?
And just following up on that quickly, Levante Bentley had that huge strip fumble close to the goal line. I mean, how much do you feel like that really kind of solidified the result for you guys tonight?
Well, Levante Bentley, first and foremost, has been one of our key players on our defense. I mean, this young man, he is football, man. Like, when it comes to our defense and a hard-nosed guy that's doing it at practice week in and week out, one of the most touching moments that I've had since I've been a coach here in Colorado was, I used to go for a walk, me and a few of the other coaches afterwards, but before we left the field to go on our walk through campus and whatever, I saw Levante Bentley getting ready on the field, jogging with Big Q, with Big Barnes. I was like, what is wrong with you? I just gave you the second half of practice off because I know your foot is messed up and your foot is hurting, you're limping. He said, Coach, I got to get the big fella ready. I got to get the big fella ready. He's jogging with this guy and he's limping because he's sewing into his teammate, trying to get him prepared and in shape to play this game. So you talking about a man who I love to life. He is one of those guys, and I'm proud of him. Truly proud of him.
And you said you wanted to come out here and have a decisive victory, and you did. How important do you feel that is now for confidence, to be able to build off of headed into next week?
It's important for our line to compete like they competed. It's important for our defense to have consistency and finally get sacks and finally get turnovers. It's important for Mata to regroup and go and make sure he made that field goal now. It's important for Mate to after he shanked one, to come in and land one, and I think inside the 5-yard line. So it's important for these guys to have consistency for Shador to come back and play the game that he played. And Travis is Mr. Consistent as well. But a lot of those receivers chipped in today. They did a phenomenal job with their targets that they had.
Mark, go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, Colorado State's shenanigans of disrespect.
Yeah.
I think right at the end of the first half, their quarterback ran out of bounds, bumped into Travis, told him he was too small.
How stupid is that? This is Travis Hunter. Dude, this is Travis Hunter. This is Travis Hunter. Like, who does that? I wouldn't allow my kids to do that. And y'all know that. And that ought to be said. But when you allow kids to sit in an interview and talk against us, and you just got beat by 50-something in week 1, come on, dog. Somebody help me here. Am I missing something? Straight up, tell me. I don't see where that's done in sports. That has to be allowed. Ain't nobody crazy enough to sit up there and say nothing like that. Who does that?
I don't know why you would want to poke that bear that's Travis.
Ain't no bear. That's a dirt. I can't say that word. Thank you, Jesus. God, you're so good to me.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a
That's
dog.
why he has to be. So I love y'all, man. Y'all take care of me, man.
Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You mixed things up a little bit on the offensive line. That's very good. And just overall, how do you feel like that group played tonight?
They play well. I mean, they could play better, of course. But that's not just saying Justin is not in the plans. That's not saying that we don't have several more young men in the plans that we want to have a better rotation. We want to have a rotation going in of at least several players that can play at a high level and protect our quarterback. We really do and help us run the football successfully.
Jake, go ahead.
Coach, just your thoughts on the offensive balance this week compared to last week?
Nobody cares about balance until you get your butt kicked. That's the only time you really care about balance. How many times we ran?
19, I think.
19 and we threw it 49 times? Nobody, that's a little disparaging, right? That's a little different, right? Nobody cares about that until you get your butt kicked. When you get your butt kicked, that question will come from you all. Like, what about the balance? Ain't nobody care about no balance. As long as you win the game, that's what people care about. We would love to build that tremendously because we have backs that can do it. You know, unfortunately, we put it on the ground one time today, and that's not indicative of who we are. But we'll fix that.
Couple more, go ahead.
Coach, I'm Deion Weiss with CU Independent School of Sports.
How old are you, man?
19.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Proud of you. You give him a one-on-one whenever he wants it. I got you, man.
Kind of along that question. Against North Dakota State, you guys averaged 2.6 rushing yards per play. Again, and then against Nebraska, it was under 1 rushing yard.
Yeah.
But tonight, you guys averaged nearly 6 yards per rush. So what changed to make the rushing game more effective?
Just the intensity and the understanding of our team that this needs to happen. Pat is a pro, so definitely he's calling runs. He wants to call runs. That's the life he comes from, with a lot more balance at the professional level. But these men in the front, they got to make up their mind this is what we're going to do, and we're not waffling. We're going to do it. So, but it's hard when you got a guy like Shador who a quick screen is 5 to 7 yards. Anything behind the line of scrimmage is caught or not more than 5 yards is caught. It's just like a handoff. It's like a long handoff because he's so darn accurate.
Couple more, Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian
How you doing, sir?
You don't need to ask my age, but last week you were talking about how this team didn't really meet the moment.
Right.
What does it mean to you as a coach to see this team meet the moment tonight and really respond?
I'm proud. I'm truly proud. I mean, coming down the street, time we walked out the locker room, I heard how much we suck, and I hate using that word and that terminology, but that was said, and all the profanity that we were ushered into. These guys stood up. Come on, man, we can hear. We have ears, 2 of them, matter of fact, and we heard all the foolishness, and might as well abandon the darn season with 1 darn loss. You know how many people have lost 1 game in college football? There's some really good teams that lost 1 game. We like to think that we're one of them. yes, we're developing some things. Yes, we're working on some things. But yeah, you see this arrow is headed in the right direction, especially defensively. And you know, everybody knows the formula. You protect two, you go. It's simple. Couple more guys.
Rylan, go ahead.
Coach, Nakai Hill-Green got the start at linebacker today. Really good game. What are you seeing from him, and how big of a game changer is he in this defense?
I believe he started last week too.
Yeah, he started
I think
last
he
week.
started last week as well. He comes to play. He's a student of the game. He plays very physical. I think he has some tremendous physical stops today as well. But he lines the guys up, get them going, and he's like a pro out there. He does a phenomenal job. My brother.
Yeah, so after last week loss, right, to Nebraska, the offensive line came into question. So my thing to you was, what type of switch did you see from the offensive line in practice that led you to believe, okay, these guys are gonna come out and show who's boss?
Well, their preparation, the attention to detail, did a lot more inside run this past week than we did in previous weeks. They just didn't like what they heard. I mean, it's not kind for young men to hear how bad they are consistently. It's not kind. Like, as coaches, we could get on them as well, to confirm some things, to challenge them in some manners. But soon, you know, also during the week, I said, all right, now it's time to build them up. It's time for us to build them back up so we can prepare them for this contest. And they came to play. From the first play on, they came to play. I'm so darn proud of them. You have no idea. Just seeing their eyes and how they lit up on that field when they were driving and doing what they wanted to do. And I don't know how many times two got touched tonight, or did we even surrender a sack. I know he did a good job of running around trying to get rid of it. So that was phenomenal as well. Phenomenal adjustments by Pat and Field and those guys in the offensive rooms.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you all. I appreciate you, but I just want you to have the same passion when you see foolish things that you have when you see things on our behalf. I'm not asking you to jump on anybody because I don't condone that as well, but you know, I just like balance. Balance in any part of life is wonderful. God bless y'all. Y'all get home safe. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Coach.